Hello and welcome back to the Gardens and Graveyards channel. Today we are meeting in the moon garden and we're going to try to get it buttoned up and ready for planting for the season. We have been doing a lot of rearranging in the upper gardens this winter, early spring, and this is the last bit that needs to be done. We totally revamped our rose garden. We built new raised beds. We rearranged both sides of the entryway for the front of our house. And we totally redid underneath our rhododendrons over here. We removed a butterfly bush. We put in new mulch, made new beds. We still have planting to do, but it's all buttoned up and looking beautiful. Now we've also done an expansion into our moon garden. This area is all brand new, and a little annex to the original moon garden here. And we repainted our raised beds and built a new raised bed. So today we want to fill those beds up with soil, mulch the bare ground in a new space, do some weeding, do some planting. I have a hellebore plant. I want to transplant my camellia. We only have a couple of hours according to the weather app before it starts raining again, because that's spring on the Oregon coast. It's beautiful sunny blue skies, pouring down rain, and it just alternates between that all day long. So we're gonna try to slip out here, get some things done, and then everything will be all ready for planting. And my neighbor has his tractor out, so it's kind of loud and noisy. Sorry about that. Where he's going with that. Just cruising down the road in a tractor. All right, so that is our main goal today, is just buttoning up the moon garden so that we can start planting here very soon. I have a bunch of plants in the greenhouse that need to be planted out here. So if we have time, if we are like just moving with purpose and making it happen, we might even get to do a little planting today. So I'm gonna just set up the camera and move along. These raised beds here are plastic barrels that we cut lengthwise in half, and Spencer put them on these little stands so that I have a really tall raised bed to work in. And this winter we painted them gray instead of like insane bright blue like the ones that are over there. It's like pool liner blue. I'm so over it. So we painted those gray, and then we built this raised bed back here, which I'm loving this little space. So this bed is pretty deep, and we're just gonna do annuals in it this year. So we're gonna fill half of it up with wood chips that we got for free, that we've been mulching all of our beds with, this wood chip here. And then we'll fill the rest of it with soil. It's just a good filler for something that's deep and wide like this. And we just know that next year we'll have to top it off again, because the wood chips will break down and just become a beautiful, soil underneath all that. And then we're gonna put the wood chips all down here as a mulch. I wanna plant a camellia right there, train up our clematis, which already has some buds for blooming, and then I want to plant this hellebore. So just Spencer's getting some mulch to start this part of the project. I'm gonna load up some soil and so that we can fill these guys up when the mulch is done, and then we'll transplant some plants. It's just dirt.
much? Do you eat too much?
No, that'll be perfect. You want this?
I'll need it, yeah.
Do you want me to get that out of there for you?
You did turn around.
I'll just get it turned around for you.
Yeah.
So we just filled about half of it up with wood chips, and then I stepped down on it to try to compact it a little bit, just to prevent a little bit of the sinking for this year, knowing that it will break down and that there will be sinking, but I'm okay with it. And that gives me about 12 inches of planting, which is more than enough for the plants that I plan on putting in there for this season. Now let's go ahead and plant this hellebore, which I bought for the March blooming March moon garden blooms, and they're done. So and I never did get around to planting it, so I'm just gonna get it planted right here, and then we'll move into the next thing. this from this space. We had built this sweet little trellis for it, thinking that it would get enough sun and shade that a camellia wants, which might be true if it was already 4 foot tall. But in the summertime, all this crocosmia gets to be 4.5, 5 foot tall and completely shades these out. So they have been putting on new growth and slowly growing. I just think it will grow better in the moon garden. And it would normally be blooming in April. I haven't been, in March. It should be blooming in March. And it hasn't bloomed since we moved it here. So it's called April Remember, so maybe it's supposed to bloom in April. I don't know. So we'll probably find a fun sun to shade loving vine that might grow up this trellis. Eventually this shed's gonna get replaced, so probably not anything permanent, but I do want to use this trellis that Spencer built me, so hopefully we'll find something for it. All right, well, it is starting to rain for reals now. So we got this area all mulched up. We've got wood chips and soil in this bed. We need another bag of soil, but we ran out of soil, so we need to go pick up a bag. And then we got these totally filled up, and we moved our moonstones so that they are like navigate a little better. And then I put a couple pieces of broken pottery over our stumps because we could not see them with the wood chips, and we piled the wood chips about 7 inches tall because there's no cardboard underneath there and it's just bare soil, and I do not want weeds. So I piled it really heavy, but I also don't want to trip on those stumps, and I definitely don't want anybody else who doesn't even know they're there to trip on the stumps. Oh, it's definitely raining. Let me get the camera turned around. I'll show you what we got up to and call it a day. It's perfect timing. We're pretty much done with the project that I wanted to get done. So everything got mulched. Like I said, I put these broken pieces of pottery just to cover up these stumps. Just as you can see, you can't tell that there's a stump there with these wood chips, and I don't want anybody to trip on them. So it makes it really clear. And it looks a little prettier than just like some tarps or something stupid. I trained up our clematis, which has, it blooms on new wood, but I didn't cut it back, so there's a bunch of old wood. So this year, I just kind of wrapped the new pieces around the old pieces so that you have some greenery. I transplanted this camellia and started training it. I'll have it kind of like go in a V shape up this pallet. And then, like I said, we move these so they stay in the moon shape, but they're not so close to these raised beds that I feel crowded, and I can easily walk around the garden. And then we filled these up and they're all ready for planting. It's so exciting to have all of this done. Oh, and then I planted our hellebore, which is actually from our February blooming series, moon series. And then the camellia is our March blooming moonflower. And then we need to pick up one for April. Oh, I don't know if you can hear the wind, but it's picking up for sure. And we exposed our hostas that are coming up, which is super awesome. This is the Blue Moon hosta. It's got okay, this will just mold in there if we leave it. Okay, we've got the Blue Moon hosta here, and then this is the Twilight hosta there. So exciting. All right, before the storm crashes down on me, I'm gonna go inside. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope you're celebrating your life, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.